I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to trust in your divine intelligence when creating what you actually want in your life. And so the reason why I believe that this video is very, very important, like why it's extremely important for a person to know this if they're serious about creating what they want, is that really it's going to be very, very difficult for you to be able to create your desire if you're just trusting in your ego. Like you're just trusting in the ego and like your limited sense of self and like this is how I have to be, and it's like there's all these limitations in the past, right? So when we're living in the past and who we used to be and we keep recreating this in the present moment, there's no possibility to be a greater version of yourself and to really actually evolve and transform into something greater. And so the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to actually step into this greater version of you, where you're not just believing in the past and to really trust in that deeper essence of who you really are, is to really have a deep understanding that intention alone will not create your goals. Like it's just not going to be through intention. Just intention will not figure it out. So if you're putting only intention as sort of the thing that you're focusing on to be able to get to your goal, what you're doing is that you're focusing so much on logic, but not enough on the action and the embodiment of the goal itself. So what people forget is that life is literally an act. Shakespeare said it himself, that we are in a play and that we're all actors. And in a way, that's absolutely the truth. It's not just a metaphor, like we're literally actors. Maybe we're not in a play per se, but the truth is that we're all acting. We're all acting, and some people just are better actors than other people. And why is this the case? Like, why is it that some people are better actors? Why is it that some people have it easier than others, seemingly to be the case? Like, is there something that that person maybe has that you don't? Possibly. Maybe they have a skill set, maybe they have a piece of information, but there's something that we all have within us where it's equal. We all have an equal chance. And really, I believe that is the potential that exists within all of us. And when I say potential, you might think, okay, well, like what is really potential? Like we all have potential. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that, can you really glorify a person for having potential? Can they be recognized for having potential? Like not really, because it's almost like they have to actualize it first. So what do you really do with potential? Well, first of all, I think that a big part of this is to become conscious of your potential, because most people aren't even aware of their potential at all. Like a person might genuinely walk through life and they believe that there's no potential for something greater. And why does that happen? How does a person get to their life to a point where they really believe that there's no possibility for any kind of improvement or transformation or change? How does that happen? There's no more potential possibility in their mind. It's when the ego becomes so dormant and so strong and there's no groundedness in who they actually are, and they become too emotional. There's too much emotionality, not enough groundedness in the truth, in the actuality of the present moment. See, the actuality of the present moment is where you're going to get all the divine intelligence. Any single idea, any action you need to take, any skill set you need to learn, any resource you need to get, maybe some access to money, whatever it is that you need in this present moment to get to your intention. You can't just have more intention to get to the intention. At some point, the intention is there. The thought is there, right? The decision to become something is there. So what happens next? Do you just intend more intention, more understanding? No, there has to be a follow through. And where does this follow through come from? How do you become a person that just follows through? I think that it happens through understanding that you have to focus on being itself. Not just doing, because there's the doing dimension. There's how much you're doing in your life. There's sort of like what you're doing in your life. And then there's how you're being, who you are being. But there's the who, but then there's just the beingness of the present moment prior to any idea whatsoever. And that, I believe, is where all the access to the divine intelligence actually exists, where it's like all the ideas that you need just come to you. They just come to you. Any skill set that you need to learn, you're more conscious of it, you're more willing to learn. How do you become a person that's more willing to learn? Like, see, there's two people and there's maybe a plan and a structure that they're offered. Hey, here's a plan to become successful. Why does it happen to be the case where one person can have more of a willingness to learn than the other person? Why? How does that happen? How does one person have higher level of willingness to learn? I think that it becomes a situation where when you have more consciousness of your potential, of your beingness, you naturally have an inclination to transform and to grow. When you're too attached to your ego and to the limited sense of who you believe you are, which is usually grounded in past experiences, there's no possibility for the future, it's just the past. Or there's so much attachment to the future, you become your goal, and then you lose yourself again there as well. Whatever the case is, remember that just logic, just ideas won't help you to get what you want. It will have to come through being and remembering the essence of your actuality and the actuality of the present moment, where your thoughts have more power in that space. Your intentions and your ideas have more power behind them. There's more genuine love and consciousness behind those ideas. And so the final thing that I want to share, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video is to understand that you really do not want to put all of your trust in your logic to figure it out. So just your ego, just more action. Maybe you think, oh, I need to take more action. Maybe you think, oh, I need to study more. Maybe you think you need to use more willpower, use more, just push a little bit more, right? And then you'll finally get the goal. So what you want to do is don't just put it all in your ego, because like you're thinking about how do I do this? Like, what's the how, right? Don't focus on just the ideas that are coming in your mind to do it. There has to be a trust in something greater. And what am I really pointing to? So you're thinking, okay, well, don't put all my trust in my logic. Don't put all my trust in my ideas. Well, then what? So really, I want to kind of combine the second point and the third point into one. And really, what I want to make clear is that it's really important to stop worrying about the how. So you don't just need to do more logic and figure out the how. The how, when it comes to you getting what you want, is none of your business. So really, you want to understand that God will know how. And if you trust in God, if you trust in yourself to trust in God, to act upon God's nudge and little push for you to do something, maybe an idea comes to you, it feels an intuitive thought. It's a thought that feels maybe a little bit more effortless. It does not feel forceful. It doesn't feel like you have to force it. So if you're sitting here thinking, okay, how do I get what I want? What exactly do I have to do? Just drop that whole idea. If you need a mentor, you'll find the right mentor. If you need to learn something on the internet, trust me, trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, take that trust from me. You'll find whatever it is that you need to find. Again, if you need to make a certain amount of money to get what it is that you want, you'll just trust yourself, trust God, that you'll find that amount of money that you need. So what you want to start to understand is that the how is none of your business. Your business is to set the intention that you want, become clear on your intention, and now you can use your beingness, the essence of your beingness, and trust that your beingness, who you actually are, will guide you towards the intention. You will just know what to do. And it's oftentimes so obvious. It's like, if you don't let yourself and your ego get in the way, like, you can trust me, you'll definitely just know what to do. Don't get it twisted, you'll definitely know what to do. Any sort of worry that's created from the ego that you don't know what you want to do, if you attach to that belief, often will be a self-created, self-fulfilling prophecy where you get into an energy of not knowing what to do because you keep focusing on how do I know what to do, and then you never know what to do. Whereas if you just trust yourself and stop overthinking, just be more, You just know what to do. You know exactly what to do. You know when to do things, not to do things, when to take action, when to maybe make more decisions with your team on a collective level. Maybe you know when to make internal decisions personally at a more individual level. You know maybe to take more action on something, less action on something. You just know. You know when to pull back, when to push on certain things. You just kind of know, and it all comes naturally to you. How do you do this? How does a person just know? How does one person, all this stuff comes so naturally to them? It's like, how are they doing this? Like, what are they really doing? How do they just have all this knowledge, information? Another person, it's becomes so difficult for them. It's because one person has a trust in literally God, literally something deeper than their own limited ego. Like if you trust in something divine, you become a conduit for the universe itself to give wisdom, to give knowledge, right? It all starts to happen at a very natural level because you're not giving all the burden, all the responsibility to your ego to create everything that you want. You don't need to leave it all on